This is Metal Slug X for the Sony PlayStation, released in 1999 by SNK. This is apparently a rework of Metal Slug 2 with some level changes and some different additions. The rumor is that they really wanted to fix some of the problems that Metal Slug 2 had with its release, and I guess, looking back, this was definitely before internet updates were possible, so I guess that makes sense. I believe this one is the third game in the series, and I guess they worked to make this one a bit of a smoother experience. And personally, I never saw any issues with those earlier games, but I definitely like the way this one handles, so I guess that extra development work left us with a pretty good game. It was available for the Neo Geo originally, and it's had ports released on many of the modern consoles since then. You should be able to get this one on all the main digital platforms right now. Steam, Xbox, PlayStations, and Switch. I'm pretty sure it's on all of them. The Metal Slug games were actually pretty common to arcades back in the 90s and 2000s, at least in the New England area where I lived. These were the type of games that were designed to eat quarters for sure, although maybe not as many as some of the other cabinets out there. Metal Slug X is a run-and-gun game where you can pick up and pretty much play by just adding another quarter. These type of games, in my experience, were always best played with a friend, because it immediately doubled your firepower, which, in a game like this, that's always a good thing. You can choose between a few different avatars, and then you're off to running through the stages. The goal is to rescue POWs when you run into them, and then shoot everything else that looks like an enemy. And try not to get shot yourself, I guess. For the most part, that's kind of it. Or, at least in my experience, that's what it is. If there's some sort of hidden depth beyond this that I'm unaware of, please let me know in the comments. There's a fundamental simplicity to this game that I like. It's this add another quarter mentality that really sets up what this game is. This is all it takes to play and enjoy this game. Pop in a quarter wherever you are and start playing. But to me, overall, the Metal Slug games, they succeed best in their design. We've got this awesome, cartoony, pixelated avatar and scenery setting, with bright colors, plenty of on-screen movement, and the vehicle and weapons designs, the style they use here. This is what I'd consider sort of steampunky, kind of, a little bit, and I think it really works. I find it very appealing. I've always thought that this design style made it stand out in the arcade. There just wasn't anything else out there like this to compare it to, or at least not that I could see. All the levels are pretty much you running from left to right for the most part. There is a little up and down variety at times, and they do change the actual designs of the levels too, so not everything looks like that first level where you're just running through a city in the desert. I think my favorite stage is, I think it's the second stage, maybe the third stage. You're inside a tomb. You get attacked by bats and mummies, and you can get wrapped up like a mummy yourself, which is kind of funny. It slows you down, of course, but it doesn't kill you. It's just clever, it's a bit unexpected at the same time, and I like it. I think one of the things I really like about Metal Slug is that the game loves to throw these big weapons at you. If you rescue a POW, they often give you an upgrade of some kind. A machine gun, maybe missiles, or a laser. There's maybe not a massive variety to the type of upgrades you could get, and they definitely have limited ammunition, but they are a ton of fun to play with. Suddenly being able to launch a massive barrage of missiles across the screen, or just cutting through enemies with a machine gun or a laser, it really helps with your progress. But, full disclosure, it is not unusual for me to get killed pretty much immediately when I grab one of these weapons, or at least long before I run out of special weapon ammo. I'll grab a rocket launcher, and a half a second into pulling that trigger, I'm a grease spot. Maybe that's more of an issue with the one-player game, I'm not sure. Or maybe it's the way I play. But there are times when I barely get to fire one of these special weapons before something just runs me over. I guess the moral of the story here is, don't bother trying to conserve your special weapon ammo. Just have fun with it while you can. There's only a handful of stages in this game, I believe there's 6, and overall I think you should be able to beat this game in under an hour. I guess depending on how you play. I found it to be kind of relaxing myself. I don't think there's a ton of complexity here, and there's not a lot to get you confused. It's just overflowing with shoot and shoot more mechanics. Stuff is flying across the screen everywhere. There's something appealing to that. A little brainless, maybe. Well, that's all I have today for Metal Slug X for the Sony PlayStation. There are a ton of other Metal Slug games in the series that I still have to check out. I think we're up to 10 or so right now. If you like Metal Slug, there are plenty of games that you can choose from. Thanks for watching, and hope to catch you on another video.